Hello and welcome to the Two Guys One Cup round 24.
Round 24?
Round 24 tips. Did I say Two Guys
I
One
don't
Cup?
know.
Welcome. It's late on a Sunday night, and we're going to be tipping about games that are more than
In
5
a round
days
that
away.
hasn't ever previously existed, right? Like this
That's
year is
right.
longer than any other season that we've had. So, no wonder we're hitting the wall a little bit. But
I'm Charlie Clausen. He's
Hi.
Will Anderson. Let's get right into the games. So first up is Podcast Mike's Bombers are taking on the Pies. Mike, do you want to get in on this? Where to for the Bombers from here? Just like a humiliating loss at the Beanstalk last week. Now coming up against top of the ladder Collingwood. Are you any chance in this game?
No, we're going to lose.
you're broken.
And
You're broken.
Less than 1 year to crush his spirit. That's amazing.
we're going to lose. So that's my opinion.
Like, what
Okay.
if? What if though? What if? Let's just think about what if just for a second. Like, what if Essendon finished the season with, a victory against one of the old enemies? Collingwood are beaten up, bruised and battered. They're gettable. Essendon, at their best, have been a very good team this season. Maybe they got one more left in them. Final roll
If
of
the
the
Bombers
dice.
win by, I think if the Bombers win by 15 goals and GWS lose
Technically,
by
mathematically,
10 goals, then you can make it.
Didn't we
And
lose
the
by
Bulldogs
like nearly
lose
15
to the Cats.
goals this weekend?
Well, see, it can be
Unlikely,
done.
yeah.
They saw firsthand
Proof.
it can be done.
it's proof. They believe in it because they saw it done against them. What do you think, Charlie?
I'm going to tip the
I'm
Pies
going to
in this
also
game.
tip the Pies, but
On Saturday, a very... do you remember when people talked about the Hawks tanking? That wasn't that more innocent time. The Hawks take on Fremantle at the MCG, and I think we'll win that game. John Newcombe will come back and we'll win. Freo got nothing to play for. Crapped out against Port last week.
I know, but Freo. I watched the Freo Port game, and I actually thought that they played okay. But yeah, Hawthorn.
Hawthorn? Yeah, I think Hawthorn easily. Freo they'll just put all their good players on ice. Why risk them?
You mean
over,
methamphetamine,
Appo, down.
right? You mean
Yeah. Down in Tassie, North Melbourne are hosting the Suns, which will be the first time Tasmania's seen the Suns in quite some time, Will. Hey! Who knows what's going to go on here?
who
I think
knows?
the Suns will win. No, I reckon the
I
Suns will win.
mean,
I'd love to see North get...
not
well, actually, maybe
anymore.
North don't want to win.
North don't want to win.
Look at
They've
Harley
got
Reid.
nothing to fucking gain out of winning in this game. Are you fucking
Yeah, rest
kidding me?
Larkey, rest Sheasel, rest Wardlaw, Taron Thomas. Get them
I
all
mean,
out of there.
Alistair Clarkson, might be a changed man, but he hasn't changed that much. He's no fucking more. Can you imagine him letting? No way. Like, yeah, Gold Coast to win that.
Brisbane hosting the Saints up at the Gabatoir, 4:35. Brisbane have a chance to go top of the ladder if Collingwood lose. Saints have a chance to get a home final if they win. Lions have not lost at the Gabba all year. Can the Saints change
Probably
all
not.
that? Probably not. I wouldn't think so.
But that's not a
we
bad
actually
thing.
match up okay. We match up
Yeah.
okay against the Lions. We're one of those weird sides
Yeah.
that we never beat them, but we match up well. So I think I'm expecting a 3 to 4 goal
Yeah,
loss.
they're just hard to beat there.
Last chance saloon for the Bevo's bottom boys as they travel to GMHBA Stadium to take on the
Yeah,
Cats.
in a place
Cats
we have not
no
won
possibility.
in 20 years.
Yeah. Well, that is a great start for the bottom boys. That's where they need to be, at a venue where this is like your back's against the wall. Like, how great can we make these odds? You go one of the most impossible to win at stadiums, and you bloody start your
I
run.
mean, if the story of the season is that Bevo's beautiful bottom boys, then yes, absolutely. You're right. Perfect start of it, right? That old hoodoo is absolutely done with. That gives you the confidence to have your role once you get into
it's
the
like
finals.
when you won it in 2016, and you won
You
in Perth, you won
defeat
in
last
Sydney,
year's
you won-
premier like in a match at their home stadium where you haven't won for 20 years, and that's enough of a story that you can latch onto that and roll it through the finals. That's your ideal scenario. What do I believe the likelihood of that happening? Here's what I best hope for this game. That the Bulldogs play well enough that Bontempelli gets the 2 Brownlow votes, so that he's still hopefully in the mix for the Brownlow towards the end of the season, because the Bulldogs do not deserve to be in the finals, but Bontempelli deserves to win the Brownlow. And so I would like him to get Brownlow votes, and I think we should concentrate on that. We owe him that. I don't think we should care about the result. I think we should just get it to the Bont.
I'm going to tip the Dogs in that game. I didn't like what I saw of the Cats. Later that night, over at Optus Stadium in Perth, the Eagles, the resurgent Eagles, taking on the Adelaide Crows, who I wouldn't be shocked if the Adelaide Crows have started Mad Monday. Like,
I mean, or court proceedings. Like, like it could go. We're recording this on Sunday night. Like, it could have gone pear-shaped by the time you guys are seeing this, because it's started pretty strong. So I imagine there's been some unquiet in the. There might have been riots, LA riot style. By the time this comes out,
Adelaide has
Rundle
burnt to the
Mall
ground.
has burnt to the ground.
Podcast, Mike, can you remember not to upload this video in case Adelaide burns to the ground? But let's be honest, if a riot occurred in Adelaide, would anyone notice? All right, I love you, Adelaide. On Sunday, Port Adelaide host the Tigers, Adelaide Oval. Port in a beautiful spot. Top 4 sewn up. Could go as high as second. Should beat the Tigers.
They will beat the Tigers. The Tigers are done and their champions are gone, and Port Adelaide are getting good again.
Now, the last 2 games are the only 2. Sorry, my spine started hurting. The last 2 games are the only 2 that will affect the finals race. And so it's a spicy meatball. The first one is the Swans hosting the D's at the SCG. Good for the Saints if the Swans lose, because that means we're less likely to pay them in the SCG in a final. But the Swans, I mean, they were good for 3 quarters. That's like, there was a great moment when Horse, the first question he got in the press conference after the Adelaide game was, what do you think about, winning the game by something that was clearly a goal? And he was like, oh, well, we played good for 3 quarters before that, so, And I was like, you know what? He's got a point. They were the better team for most of the night. I reckon the Swans will get it. I reckon the Swans will get it done. It depends. If this is the problem with doing our tips on a Sunday night. If Papley doesn't get up, then I think it's more of an even game. But I like the cut of the Swans jib, and it really pains me to say that.
Well, I like the cut of the Swans jib also, but also what I absolutely am repulsed by is the cut of the Melbourne's jib. I am really against their jib. So I think Melbourne will probably win, but I'm going to tip Sydney.
And the final game of the round, the final game of the home and away rounds in season 2023 will be Carlton and the Giants. Oh, it's at Marvel Stadium. It's at home. I thought it was at the Beanstalk. Carlton's going to win that game, aren't they?
I don't know.
See, here's the thing. I've been looking for flaws with Carlton, and being at the Gold Coast game, they looked terrible in that first quarter. But the thing is, they've got heaps of really good players, and when they decide to play well,
they've got players that come back still as well.
If Chera comes back and Walsh, I mean, they've been doing most of this without those guys. Mackay's only been back for 1 game, but the Giants, I also think, are really, really good.
Yes,
team. I think Carlton.
I think Carlton can afford to lose one, so I'm going to say to the Giants.
All right. I haven't given a lock of the week, so I'm just going to say that I will be going to the Gabba, and I'm going to be obnoxious, and that's my lock of the week.
And I believe deeply in my soul that the Bulldogs will lose. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a bottom boys run to the premiership this season, unfortunately. But I would love to eat my words next week, but that is my very sad lock of the week.
And don't forget, regular episode wrapping up all the round 23-4 action will be next Tuesday on the Listener app. Play on, not 15.